Mate, I'm telling you, like, she was... You know when someone... when their eyes... You know, you see a serial killer and their eyes are, like, black. There was, you know, people coming in, getting drinks and stuff, and it's a place where, you talk about jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was this lady who used to come in called Carol, right? And she was like, lovely lady, would come in for like a little afternoon drink. And I was like, just chat, like, I'm just working, chatting to her. I'm like, oh, yeah, like my brother's looking at coming up. She's like, he can come and stay with me. She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I think he's got his friend Maurice as well. And she's like, yeah, they can both just come and live with me.
She's about
like,
60 odd.
Yeah, she's about 60, this woman. Yeah. Really, like, being really nice. She's like, just come and stay at my place. Like, come over later, have a look at the house. So I'll go over there later, right? She's got, like, a brand new, like, convertible Volvo and this, like SUV thing. And, like, she's like, they can borrow the cars, they can take...
What?
And all I'm thinking is, like, Dan's going to rock up with this, like, fucking cool guy called Maurice, right? And us three are going to take the convertible Volvo down the beach and we're just going to be, like, cool as fuck. We're going to be picking up fucking birds. This is going to be sick, right? Carol's a lovely lady.
People do this in Australia. You do get nice people that they're just like, yeah, come and stop at mine. Like, it happens. It's not like a one-off. Like, it happens quite regularly. People,
right?
They're very like,
it's part of the culture.
Yeah, you meet someone like, come over, come to a barbecue. You can stop. Like, it's very, like, it's not like England, mate. It's reserved. Like, it's very.
Yeah. So she's
open.
like, they can come. Like, I've got 2 rooms. They can come and stay here for as long as they want.
Like free of charge? Or?
Yeah, no, I think it was like...
cheap.
Yeah, it was cheap anyway,
yeah.
And she was like, they can, until they find work, they can find work. And I was like, amazing, this is brilliant. Like, what a lovely lady. So, like, I'm like, Dan, fucking, you can shack up at Carol's, you and Maurice can both come. Get here, you'll get you a job. It's going to be sick, mate. Everything's going to be fine. And then, like... It's the night where you like arrive in the day, and this is when just the whole thing just collapses completely.
Oh
no, I think
we stopped her as the first night.
So you get there, and this is where it all started to go a bit wrong. So like, she's at the pub, I'm at work. Dan comes to meet me, and then he's going to go back with Carol to her place. She's going to show him their bedroom. They're going to have a nice, lovely evening. Dan's going to come see me the next day. Obviously, we're going to drive out, find work, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, see you later, bro. No. I'm like, oh, I'll come over later. I'll come over later.
See how he's settling in.
I'll bring some beers and we'll have a couple of beers and we'll just So like, Dan goes back to this Carol's house with Maurice, and then I'm like, finish work. I head over there like, I don't know, an hour or 2 hours later. I've got my beers, so I'm like, knock on the door. And like, Dan answers the door and Dan's like, just got this weird face, just this like odd face. Like, and I'm like, is everything all right? And he's like, I don't know. He's like,
so we started having a couple of beers.
Yeah, and he's like, she just don't seem right. And I'm like, what are you going on about? I'm like, she's lovely. Like, she comes in, she's. I'm like, Dan, you just like. You must be making it. And he's like, mate, he's like, just wait. You'll see it. So like, we go in there and like, I'm cracking over some beers and I'm like a bit hungry and I'm like, oh, like.
She'd got out the bottle of wine.
Yeah, I think
she started on the wine, which is fine. We're having beers, she's starting to drift a little bit from nice normal character, like nice in the day. She starts having this wine. She starts going a little bit strange.
Yeah, like,
you've got me on the edge of my fucking seat here. Like,
and like, so I get there. I'm like having a few beers, and I'm like, oh, shall I get some food? She's like, no, there's food in the fridge, right? So I'm like, oh, all right, sweet. So like, I go to the fridge, right? Bearing in mind I think it was like February, or
that's their summer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hot.
I think it's about February time. And I open up the fridge, right? And all that is in the fridge is, like them candies that you hang on Christmas trees, them white candy, like
the
candy canes.
Candy canes.
Yeah.
The whole fridge is full of candy
and wine.
Nothing else.
And some bottles of wine. Loads of them.
I mean, the whole fridge.
Mate, no food. Them and wine.
It's full of them and wine, right? And I'm like, Carol, like, you've just got candy canes in the fridge. Like, there's no. She's like, they're lovely. Have a candy cane. She's like, crack open the candy canes. I'm like, and I'm instantly like, what the fuck's going on? Like, and I'm obviously this woman she's got mental issues or whatever. But like,
we didn't know this.
If all of a sudden you're in this situation,
and I'm like, we're just drinking, and I'm just like, this is, and I'm quite young as well. I'm like, this is quite funny, and I'm just like. And then she's like talking about stories of just she's just going off on a tangent, like being very strange.
Yeah.
And like we're all sitting there around there listening, but we're all thinking, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're sitting there, Dan's sitting there, Maurice is sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, what is this woman going on about? And why are we in this situation? And how the fuck can we get out of this situation? And it's just that moment of like, she's talking, and like, I can see Dan's like trying not to laugh, and obviously it sets me off, and then we all start cracking up laughing. Me, Dan, and Maurice are like just laughing because
she thought I was someone else.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
She kept calling me a different name.
That was it. Yeah,
right.
Sorry, we're sitting there. She keeps calling Dan like a completely different name.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, this is so strange. And I'm like, again, like I'm trying not to laugh, and then we just start cracking up laughing, don't we? To the point where I'm like, and then even she's laughing with us, but she doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dan, I need to get outside and get some air because this is fucking too. So we're sitting in a back garden, just like cracking up laughing, like, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, you can't come back and stay at Brian's. Like, I can't have you and Maurice there. So I'm like, just stay here for the night. And I'm like, we'll sort something out tomorrow. Just, it's late. Just stay here. And
so James and who's the other lad there? Terry. They left.
I was like, just get some sleep. She might be right. She might just be having a weird evening or whatever. Yeah, like, just stay there. I'll see you in the morning. So like,
but
obviously the nightmare ended there for me.
She carried on drinking. And she convinced she started getting a bit nasty, going like, "You're lying," and I'm like, "I'm not this person." And she's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" Like, and I was just like, and I was like, "I'm gonna go to bed."
God.
So then like, I ended up going to bed, and she's just carrying on drinking and eating candy canes.
Mate, I'm telling you, like, she was. You know when when their eyes, you see a serial killer and their eyes are like black and they just change.
Oh,
and she was just like. This.
I think we've got a picture of it somewhere.
I would fucking be putting the chest of drawers in front of the door or something.
Mate,
they did.
I blocked up the wall. So Maurice did the same. Did the same. But then she got into his room. And he's a big lad from like fucking. He's a lump, a lovely guy, but he's a big lad. And she got into his room, and I could hear him saying like, get out. And then she was like. Touching his leg, and he was like, "You have to come out, come." And like, obviously, we've got nowhere to go, we've got no money, and then she's like, "We're just in this weird situation." I was like, "I'll just like lock up the door until the morning," and then got up in the morning, and she'd obviously, I think she slept in her living room or whatever, and she woke up like, "Oh yeah, boys, how you doing?" Back to Carol as if nothing had happened, and then she's like, "Can you?" Because I mentioned I'd like. When we were there, people were talking about a car, and she's like, "Can you look at my car?" And then she wanted me to fix her car, and then I was just like, "James,
what about last night?"
And I was just like, "I've fucking got to get over here. Like, I can't go through this again. Like, this is weird." But as weird as it was so funny because it was like it would come out of nowhere.
Honestly, it was because again,
not in a horrible way.
Not in a horrible, but it was
all of a sudden being in that situation.
It was like
because she caught us off guard. It was when she started.
And I thought she might have even been joking
at the start. Because she kept calling me.
But when I saw the candy canes, mate, I was just like, "This is fucked."
Nah,
this is just mental.
Yeah, bless her.
And,
oh my goodness.
And as well, like. People in the pub had said to me, like, "Yeah, she's lovely," like, blah blah blah. But obviously, they hadn't seen the other side.
They ain't seen the candy canes.
And like, the next day, obviously, I went to work in the morning, and I was like, saying to some of the people who was coming in, I was like, mate, she's fucking got candy canes in her fridge and that she's like off, and they're all like they're all pissing themselves laughing, and whether they knew, I don't know, but I was just like, this is like
the thing with Maurice, like if you flipped it round, if that was a woman in a bed and the guy was trying, it's a different story. But like we were laughing about it, and like you know, he's a big lad. He's like, come on, get, and she's getting under the sheets and grabbing him and like just. But I mean, but obviously she's just an alcoholic. But no one knew. We didn't know, and she didn't even know. The morning after, she had no clue what had gone on. So yeah, we ditched that place.